I don't really know how I'm supposed to feel about this. But
Welcome to the Slightly Warm Seat podcast. I'm Jonah King. I'm here with my second guest, the esteemed Joe. He is a junior here at the University of South Florida, St. Petersburg. How you doing, Joe?
Doing good, man. How's it going, Mr. Jonah?
I'm doing fantastic. All right. So, we said you're a junior. Have you been here all 3 years?
No, I haven't. I've been here 2.5.
Okay. Why USFSP? What brought you here?
It's funny, actually. When I was filling out applications in high school, as I'm going through, I'm like, USF, and like they had the 3 campuses, Sarasota, St. Petersburg, and Tampa. And me not knowing and doing my research, I'm just sitting there, I'm like, Sarasota, that sounds like the main campus. Click. And like me not doing my research either, I go there for orientation, and they're like, we don't have any dorms.
Whoops.
Yeah, so it was one of those situations where I was like, all right, I had to room with like foreign exchange students, and they were only there for the semester, so I had to find a place. And USFSP was like, yeah, we'll take you, this and that, and dorms, and it worked out just perfectly.
So did you initially want to go to Tampa?
Yes and no. USF was probably like my last choice out of all my colleges list, and it didn't hit me like until like I saw like the majors and like I saw the different aspects of USF, what they have to offer, and I was like, okay, cool, I can go here.
All right, so you're going for a business degree, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, so are you looking to build your own company, or are you looking to work for a company? Like, where are we going here?
So my aspirations for my degree, well, originally I wanted to do sports management, and I spoke with my track coach my senior year, and it was kind of like those one-on-one, like serious conversations, and he got his master's at the University of Florida, and he told me he was limited to only getting like a job at Macy's, because like it's such a tough field to get into. So he was telling me to kind of like generalize it, because like I can go into anything with like a general business degree. And I really took that to the heart, and I was like, okay, let me do that. So I kind of went like business management. So even if I do go into sports management, or it doesn't work out, I can always venture into something else.
So what do you see Joe in 8 to 10 years?
8 to 10 years, I see myself definitely getting some experience within like an NBA team, or even the D League. I'll even accept that. Something along those lines, because my whole goal is to be like a general manager of an NBA team. Like I love the game, and I realize that I'm not one of those players where it's like I'm gonna make it to the NBA. Like I can ball, but I'm not that good. So I'm also good with math. So it's like if I could put 2 and 2 together, what degree matches that? And you know.
So who's your team in the NBA?
I love the Clippers, but I'm from down south, so I gotta rep the Heat all day.
How you feeling about this Heat team this year? Struggling a little bit.
Oh man, it's definitely gonna be a struggle. It's the rebuild. You know, we had our supreme team. Everybody left. You know, complications happened, but we're gonna go back. I got faith in them.
What's going on? How do you fix this team? Because you got, the Chris Bosh thing happened. That was really unfortunate, really sad.
Yeah.
So now you're kind of left with this interesting group of guys with Whiteside. Were they right to re-sign Whiteside?
Yes, because they definitely needed like a center that can lock down like the floor. Haslam is getting old. You know, he still has that leadership role, but he can't produce how he used to.
I don't know how Haslam's still on that team too.
I think he's probably there for the coaching. You know, he's probably gonna pull like a Gary Payton or Alonzo Mourning, where it's like he plays until he gets into the office.
Right.
Yeah.
And then do you think Justice Winslow's gonna pan out?
I feel like Justice could be a good fit for Miami. I just feel like the connection has to be there, because I've noticed with like Pat Riley, he doesn't really build around like rookies. He'd rather get like more established players. So it's the things where it's like Justice has potential, but he doesn't have the capability to grow or build upon it because of his situation.
So we got a Heat team that's probably gonna be tanking this year. So it's probably a better year to cheer for the Clippers anyway. Is this the year for the? I mean, we ask this every year. Is this the year for the Clippers?
They're doing well right now.
Right.
And I really want them to go all the way, but I can't say as of right now, because, you know, it's not how you start, it's kind of how you finish.
Right.
And they always get into these situations where it's like they'll do so good throughout the season, and then come first round or second round playoffs, you know, they lose to a team, and it's like, what are you doing?
Right. Let's see. Who do you got? If you could join, like, for business wise, for you specifically,
All
if you could join with any NBA team, who would you, as far as working for them? Let's say you could be the general manager of a team. Who would you be the general manager of a team for? With these teams, this roster.
I'd have to. All right, so my top three would probably be Miami. I like the Miami market, and I'd be real close to home, real close to family. Maybe the Knicks, because they have like a historic kind of like franchise right there. It's also a good market, and it's a debate between the Clippers and the Lakers, because the Clippers are now just getting established as like a good team within the past few years, but the Lakers always has like that dominant, supreme dream. Like everyone sees the Lakers as a free agent place where it's like I can go here during the next season. So it's probably those would be my top three teams.
All right, so let's switch gears back to campus and school. So have you kind of been able to get this? You live on campus?
No, I used to live on campus, but now I got my own apartment.
And do you live in the St. Pete area?
Yeah, I do.
So how do you feel like you kind of at least ingratiate yourself a little bit in the St. Pete area? Do you still feel new to it, or are you getting used to like what St. Pete is like?
I'm used to St. Pete by now. I kind of know the roads. It's all a grid system, so it's kind of like it's not too hard. I feel like with St. Pete, they're really expanding now, and it's like so much is building. So it's like it's kind of exciting to see what's new, and you never know what's gonna be built. So I'm kind of looking forward to that.
What's your favorite spot to eat downtown?
Oh, jeez.
You can go top 3, top 5. So that's up to you.
We definitely got to do the Avenue.
Definitely.
Avenue's definitely on there. Five Guys, that's downtown.
Yes.
But my new spot, it's not downtown. It's on 4th Street. It's called Better Bird. It just opened
I feel like
up.
I heard about that.
Better Bird. If you guys have a chance, always check out Better Bird. It's on 4th Street, right next to Fresh Kitchen.
Perfect. We need some new spots to eat. It gets old down here.
Yeah.
Speaking of improvements here, what do you think USFSP is missing student experience wise?
With USFSP,
If it's missing anything.
it's definitely missing something. This isn't like the ideal campus. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy my experience here, but I feel like with USFSP that they do a lot trying to bring a lot of new students in, and then once you're in, they kind of like just dish you off to the side.
Right.
Another thing I feel like that they can enhance on is kind of like the housing situation, parking. I feel like we are getting a more diverse, population coming in, but I feel like we also need that with transfers, and I feel like with USFSP, they want to grow, but they just don't have the capability of doing it. That's kind of like a setback for them, because it's like if they were to build it, they have to go up. They can't spread out. If I could recommend to bring anything to USFSP, I feel like more organizations, like more established organizations that would drive students' attention. Either if it's like fraternities or if it's like the Creole Club or something along those lines that like other campuses, like known campuses have, that USFSP should try to instill.
Right. Okay. You said you're from down south, yeah?
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale.
Broward County, check it out.
All right. I'm from down south myself. What's the biggest? What are just some differences down south versus up here? Because obviously there's differences. Like
gosh. With down south, it's just like Broward County is just like a different world in itself.
Right.
The main difference I noticed here is kind of like the people. Down south is real diverse. You have like your whites, your blacks, and your Hispanics you have everywhere. But like the different types of Western Indian people you have down south that like kind of migrated and just stayed in like the South Florida region.
Right.
You don't have that once you leave that. And like it's kind of a shocker. And it's kind of like, I don't want to say cultural appropriation, but it's like the certain stuff that you get down south you don't get here anymore. But I lived all of that like for 18 years, so it's like coming here was kind of like I want something new. But you still get like that, I miss home type of feel, if you get what I'm saying.
Right. Brings me to my next question. When you do graduate, all right, where's the next spot? Because for some people, they like to go back home. Some people like here. Some people like to move out west. Some people north. Where's the spot for you to go?
I don't have an ideal spot as of right now. To be honest, after I graduate, I want to follow wherever my internship takes me because I'm pushing forward towards an internship, and I want to experience like new cities, new states. Like I enjoy traveling, and I always want to meet new people. Kind of make new connections. I'm always about making connections. So it's like if I can leave my name within any state or city, I'm all about it.
Where are you working right now?
I'm currently working at Publix.
How's that going?
That's going good. Publix is not the career for me. Publix is a safe haven, as a better word. It's a good company, great benefits, but me myself, I feel like I'm an eagle in a bird's cage, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like it's really good, like a bird's cage. It's like real safe and everything like that. But like me, I want to explore. I want to know this person. I want to know that person. I want to connect here. I want to leave my trace here. I'm just all about like making connections. Along those lines, yeah.
But when it comes to internships, because that's kind of one of the crazy things about college is when you're applying for your first internship, where are you looking at? What kind of internship are you looking for?
I'm really looking towards internships that have to do with sports. So I applied for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I applied for the Orlando Magic. I'm really looking to expand my horizon now. So I'm even looking towards like the Miami Heat, trying to work in their general office, trying to work in like New York or wherever they're just willing to accept me, because it's like I'm like a free agent. I'm willing to go anywhere. I want to get that experience.
So that's a good term, a free agent. I like it. And for fun, what do you feel like is the difference between Joe now versus Joe in high school or Joe as a freshman?
Oh man, that's a big gap. Joe in high school, if we're talking like studious wise, I kind of remain stagnant. I've always been like the type of student to get my work done. I've always been that class clown. Like I'll be the type of person, I'll crack a joke, and I won't get in trouble for it. But it's like the teacher will be like, come on, let's get the work done. One of them. Behavior wise, I've definitely settled down. In high school, I was on various sports teams, so it's like I knew everybody. Messing around, just young dumb stuff.
Right.
But as of now, I've kind of gained that persona where it's like I'm kind of like more relaxed. I kind of see things better now because it's like I think before I move, and it's like I listen more than I speak. So it's one of those situations like I'm real laid back now. If I could give advice to myself, like me now, as opposed to like how I was as a freshman, I'd probably tell myself to just remain humble and try and make as many connections as you can, because you don't know who you'll need in the future.
What was your favorite high school or in general sports memory? Do you have any like one sports memory that stands out, like where you made the winning shot, or you did something crazy that like everyone was like, oh my god?
This is gonna sound weird. My favorite high school sports memory was actually me losing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy because this was my first year wrestling. It was my senior year of wrestling, and when I started out, I sucked. I was just like this big kid who wanted to grapple people, and like as the season progressed, I made strides. I cut down on some weight, I gained some muscle, and I somehow found myself in kind of like, it wasn't regionals, but it was like the step before regionals, because I ranked 5th out of my whole district, and I was going for regionals, and it was like overtime, and like the score was tied, and like I made this move, and like I didn't finish it all the way. I kind of like slipped, and like he got the last point, and like for some reason that always sticks with me, because it's like that's kind of just me telling me like, yo, if I made it that far within my first year, imagine what I could have done starting from my freshman year. And it's something that I keep in my mind, where it's like I make a lot of strides if I put my mind to it. So it's kind of like, don't ever live with that what if, always go for that, always take that risk, basically. Like I want to be a risk taker. I'm tired of being like that moderate person. I want to go all out, especially in the business world.
It's a pleasure having you on the podcast. Good to see you, Joe. I'll see you around.
I appreciate you, Jonah.
Of course, anytime.
Alrighty, man. It was a pleasure.